What's up, YouTube? Smoking Dank 5280 coming at you from Couch Jockey Gaming. Today I am doing my Is It Worth It review on The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Now I will say this is the PS4 version, and so for the talk about performance and stuff like that, this is only in regards to the PS4, not the Xbox One or the PC version. But we are going to talk about how the game looks, how the controls feel, how's the story in this, how much content, the amount of content in this game, and the replayability, and see if it's worth the $60 for the entire game, not to mention the $25 for the season pass. So let's get right to it. So I'd be lying if I said I didn't get a PS4 for the graphical upgrades from last generation, and I gotta say, for the most part, The Witcher looks great. Everything moves in the wind when it's raining, the lightning storms, everything looks awesome. But the game does have its own performance issues in cutscenes and at various other times. Especially, I shouldn't say especially, I should say included after update 1.07, where Digital Foundry was able to show quite a few performance issues after the upgrade. I will say though that while they are noticeable, they're not game breaking, and they don't, in my opinion, take away from the story in this game. Aside from that though, the game looks fucking awesome. Now, next up, I want to talk about the controls and the game. Whoa, level 1 wild dog. The game has always felt pretty good to me. I've never had an issue with the controls. It took a little bit of practice to get used to how the combat works in this, but I've never really thought the controls were an issue. It does take some getting used to, like I said, the combat and being able to do just some of the stuff they want you to do, such as killing things while you're on horseback. But once you get the hang of it, you can usually, there you go, chop heads off and do some pretty fucking awesome fucking things in this game. It really is fun. I'll give them credit. Once you get the combat down and learn to dodge, learn to block, and realize it's not just a hack and slash, the game really is fun, and the kills really feel rewarding. Get over here, you motherfucker. The horseback riding in this is actually pretty good too. They have the horse's stamina, which you can actually avoid depleting if you stay on roads. You can gallop, and the horse will pretty much just stay on the road. But like anything, you do need to pay attention, because when you come to a hard fork in the road, if I want to go this way, I actually have to turn my horse and tell him which direction I want to continue on. But I do like this auto drive feature, because most of the time with horses, I fuck it up all the time and I'm running off cliffs. But this actually allows the horse to follow the path like a horse normally would do. I'd give the controls really an A on this. I don't have a big issue with them at all. I find them easy to use now that I've learned them. So the next thing I like to look at is the story. How's the story in the game? How's the story presented? How's the storytelling? And I gotta say, the story in this game is great. Without giving away too many spoilers for those of you that haven't watched any videos or anything, we're on a manhunt before something happens to someone we care about in this game. And CD Projekt Red does a great job in the beginning of establishing a relationship with the characters. They do a great job of continuing on these relationships. The storytelling is great to the extent that everybody has a story, which can be problematic for some people if you get bored and bogged down by cutscenes. This game is filled with cutscenes, and everybody has a cutscene. If somebody has dialogue that they can talk to you about, let's go, or anything, there's a cutscene, to the point where you're going to be like, why the fuck is this lady talking to me about her goddamn frying pan? Just let me do the quest, and get on with it. And that you can skip the dialogue, but really for 60 bucks, I'm trying to get as much out of it as I can. So I want to see what the dialogue options are. And at different times, different dialogue options open up different things. But there are a ton of fucking cutscenes. Now, don't get me wrong. The cutscenes allow for amazing character development, and some of the characters you meet are fucking awesome. The story is really good. It's presented in a great way, but again, if you're not one who will slow down or likes to slow down and watch a story, this might not be the best game for you. So next up, I want to talk about the amount of content. And this game is fucking packed with so much shit to do. I'm gonna pull out and we're gonna take a look at the map here, and you can just see all of these question marks, different activities. And we're not talking like Assassin's Creed where these would be collectibles. A lot of times these are fights. There's something to do. They're places of power to level up. They are monster nests that need to be destroyed. There's missions. There's all kinds of stuff. We've got cities that you can go visit. Each one of these is a notice board that has quests that just seem to constantly repopulate. There is so much shit to do in this game. We've got the Skellige Isles. That's got its own set of stuff to do. I emailed back in April, I believe, the PR director for CD Projekt Red and asked him, I said, what are gamers going to be most impressed with this game? And he said just the sheer amount of stuff to go do, explore, and find. And he was not lying. Luckily, this game has a fast travel system, but I'll be honest, if you fast travel everywhere, you're going to miss quite a bit. There's so much shit out there to find, just different stuff going on. It's definitely worth exploring, riding around, encountering monsters, looting stuff. It's also worth mentioning again that up till now, all of the cosmetic DLC and a few extra side missions and everything have been free. We've got alternate costumes, we've got different armor sets, we've got all kinds of different stuff that a different crossbow set, I believe, all kinds of different little upgrades that CD Projekt Red has put out there in the PlayStation Store that have been free to download. I understand charging for major expansions in the game, but I find it kind of nice having all the extra little shit that I normally wouldn't pay for. If you tried to charge me $2, $1.99 for an extra outfit for one of the non-playable characters in this, I'd be like, fuck you, I'm not buying it. But seeing them in the different outfits and being able to activate them and deactivate them is kind of cool. And I think it shows a lot that they're really supporting the game. They've been doing a lot of patches. They've been doing a lot of updates on the game and fixing a lot of stuff. They completely reworked how our inventory system works at the request of gamers. That's fucking awesome. So on that aspect, A+ there. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about in this review is the replayability. Is there any reason once I've finished this to actually go in and replay the game? And in my opinion, once I'm actually done with this, I can see huge potential to going back, because with so much dialogue that I've been talking about and so many cutscenes, there also comes with it so many different choices you can make. Do you want to fight this person? Do you want to back off? Do you want to argue? Do you want to go do something else? With most of the decisions in this game, the major decisions, there hasn't been a time where I've sat there and thought about it and thought, do I want to send this person away? Do I want to tell them, yeah, go fuck yourself and do whatever you think is best? Or do I want to be the bigger person and maybe try to do the right thing? Or do I just want to be a dick and go all nuts on somebody? Because of those choices, and you know it's going to affect the game down the line, which is really cool in my opinion. I've had instances where how I interacted with somebody at one point in the game, a seemingly random person, just extra story they tried to throw in there, has actually affected how I maybe get into a castle later in a game, or how that merchant reacts to me later. Um, that's a pretty good way to help influence your actions in the game. And I like that, but I also, it makes me want to go back and change how I handle some stuff. So that right there, I say, gives me great reason to come back and replay this game. So on replayability, hell yeah, there's a lot of reason to come back and play this. Now, with all that said, and all that good stuff I said about the game is not without its faults. Like I mentioned, with the huge amount of cutscenes in this game and the tons of dialogue, it does slow down the pace of the game. The other issues that's just a personal preference. Performance issues, the game does suffer from issues during some cutscenes, which there's a lot of cutscenes, so you notice a lot of shit like that when you're seeing so many of them. Digital Foundry actually noted some performance issues on the PS4 and the Xbox One version after the latest update, which is 1.07. Other issues that I have with the game is, in my opinion, a kind of cumbersome and pain in the ass inventory and menu system, though. With the latest fix, like I said, they had some performance issues with it, nothing that was game breaking, but the fixes to the inventory system, like you just saw that guy's tattoos pop in, system. The new update did do a lot of fixes to the inventory system, but I still think the menus are kind of cumbersome. They're still a pain in the ass. I wish, like in Elder Scrolls, that there was a better way to go through my quests. I wish I could change quests from this screen, and honestly, I bet you there's a way. I bet you one of my viewers knows a way, and they're gonna put it up there and be like, hey dumbass, this is how you do it. So that leads us to the end of this video, and overall, I gotta say, is the game worth $60? Is it worth shelling out 60 bucks for, and the hard drive space it takes up, which I know is a big concern for a lot of people now, because if you've only got a 500 gig hard drive and you've had your PlayStation 4 for a while, that hard drive gets filled pretty quickly if you're buying up games. But I do have to say, this game is a fucking solid buy if you like RPGs, if you like adventure games, if you like third-person RPG adventure games. I have not been disappointed. I do not feel ripped off. CD Projekt Red has continued to deliver on their promise of an awesome fucking game. If you've got 60 bucks, pick it up. I'm honestly considering the season pass because I do want to see what they have in store at the end of this adventure, though I don't know if I'll be ready for it just because of the amount of content this game has. But definitely The Witcher 3, it is worth it. But that's going to do it for this video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. For more videos, hit that subscribe button. And of course, like always, smoke weed, play games. I am fucking out of here. Thanks for watching.